Hi, hello, hi, everyone. Hello, hi, hi. Oh, that's a fun look. Give me a second. That's interesting. Should be a little better. I gotta admit, I do understand the camera. There we go. There we go. And the little guy. The little guy, I have a hunch. See if he pops up. There he is. Okay, we've got the setup up and running. Damn, wouldn't it be cool if I started being on time? Anyway. I think it's just some more hands today. What are we on, 36? 36 drawings of a thing doesn't feel like enough drawings of a thing that I can abandon it and move on. On the other hand, pun only intended halfway through the sentence. On the other hand, I would like to draw some more faces too. But maybe I do that on my own time. I mean, I have the infrastructure set up for hands. I've got the reference in my reference doc. I think. Yes, I do. Cool. So we're just gonna be drawing hands. That's the easy stream this morning. The easy strat. Give me a second, I just need to put out my alert. Cool. And we'll start with some more from the reference. I gotta try and figure out where I'm at, which is that one's the most recent I did. Cool. I have this photo reference. Come on. I have this photo reference here. off to the side on my second monitor, so that's what we're drawing from. And then we're just trying to apply some of the specific ideas that I observed from the Araceli studies, which would be specifically not too many concaves, an emphasis on subtlety, an emphasis on appealing tapering shapes, and an emphasis on simplification. These are the Araceli studies I did yesterday. An emphasis on subtlety, simplification, and appealing tapering shapes. Imply, don't state. Cool. Other than that, we're doing good. Just got a new assignment from my internship. I was waiting for that and sort of figuring out. Holy shit, that was close. Figuring out the communication around the new assignment was also why I was extra late this morning. But that's all good now. Yeah. Excited and happy to be drawing a lot these days. That's the dream, right? Oh, you got that system sound too, right? I gotta get that out of there. And stream on the TikToks as well. This is how we get that that stupid figure of 6 minutes on average per hand from yesterday. Because there's so many side quests I'm doing. But I'll try and do myself a favor now and actually be drawing. I don't like that finger. Maybe I'm gonna watch 20 more minutes of Oppenheimer today. That could be cool. Seemed like an interesting movie. I don't know about that hand. Number 37. Moving on though. Moving on though. Uh. Give me a second. Right, yeah. My lord. Draw, please let me draw. Please, sir. Can I observe anything generally about thumbs here? More angular and flatter than I think I typically do. Yeah. Thumbs are such a difficult part of the hand to try and keep elegant. think Araceli has a point in just trying to keep it a little bit more angular, a little bit less lumpy, and then if you can keep the thumb quite flat as well, it doesn't feel like a big lump on the end of the hand, on the side of the hand. Oh, I lost all pressure sensitivity there. That typically means just a closing and opening of the file. There we go. One thing I'm observing from the Araceli drawings as well is whenever there's like a break in the form, just make it like a clean break, because I would often like overemphasize that. And I see Araceli's drawings as being like very elegant. And I think part of that is from not overemphasizing these breaks in the shapes or the forms, but keeping them pretty clean. So I'm trying to have an extra awareness of that. See, not this, but like that instead. Little things. Oh. Wrong layer. Keep the thumb flat and angular was the other thing. Try and get that elegance in there. Hi Drago, how you doing? You gonna be doing some hand studies with me? What's up? How I've been? I've been good. I've been good. Yeah. Got a new assignment at my internship today, which is nice because I've been waiting for that. Otherwise, you know, we're just drawing. You're at school mid-class. Okay. You just wanted to check in. That's fair. That's fair. Oh, we have a good class. Are you doodling in the margins of your sketchbook? You should do that thing where you're like, this is like an Irie Pan life hack, where you just like unapologetically draw during lectures in school, and then when your teacher calls you out, you just go, I'm sorry, Miss Phillips. I just really focus better if I draw at the same time. So, you know, I'll be in the back of the class. I won't disturb you too much, but it's just if I can just be devoting all of my attention to the drawing actually instead of listening to the class, I swear it actually means that I'm actually listening better to the class. I think it's good. I think you should be doing that. At least I think I should have been doing that. Like, if you want to work professionally with art, those are free gains, because I didn't dare. I would just be doing school when I was in school. And imagine all the art gains I lost that way. Must be so many. I'm rotating some hands. Yeah, well, they're already rotated for me. I'm using reference here on the side. I think that could be good. I think maybe that would be the next thing we do, is like just try to rotate our own hands. Hand holding a sack of 2 medium-sized marbles tutorial when? We can Such a good question. Such a good question. A sack of 2 medium-sized marbles. Maybe another day. Maybe another time. What's more difficult than rotation, perspective, and drawing? Is this a setup to a joke? Is this an honest question? I think that's it, dude. And then it's just like, what you're rotating. No, legit. What's more difficult than rotation and perspective and drawing? Well, it is one of the most difficult things. It just depends on what you're rotating, right? So, it's pretty easy to rotate like a box in perspective. Rotating like a hand is a bit tricky. Rotating a complex, naturally flowing gesture in perspective is pretty difficult. But then, I mean, I don't know, depending on who you ask, drawing a natural looking gesture in the first place could be as difficult. It definitely is like a way to spike the difficulty. If you're like, how could I make this drawing harder? Well, let me spin it around a couple times. Nah, Kava, we're just doing Pokeballs today. Hands holding 2 deformable Pokeballs mounted to a cylinder when. Tutorial when? Just trying to make your joke straight. I think I failed. I think it was a little bit too clumsy. I was trying to yes and. Works better with sack of marbles. That's bad. This is wrong. This is not the hand that I was trying to draw. That's fine. Not the most interestingest of hands anyway. I'm like, maybe there's an exercise here where we draw just one of the hands that I have here reference for, and then rotate it on our own and see how we fare. Like, because I have all the images of the hands rotating. But if we start with just the one, you know, then we have like a sheet of answers. And we can tell if we did a good or bad job. But it would be nice if I drew the first hand okay. Give me a second. Big Pokeball? It is a pretty big Pokeball as well. Not really Pokeball sized. I'm mad at this finger. That didn't work. Still mad at it. Give me a second. Yeah, no, bad. It's also because I'm like, that's the little finger. Kind of. That's strange, but that is what we're seeing. It's because it's more of an upshot. We're looking up at this hand more than I gave the photo credit for. Which is also why you should disappear behind you. Okay, this will be a little bit tricky. And because it's like a lot of an upshot, we do get to see the bottom of like the fleshy bit at the base of the thumb as well. Lift you a little bit more. Have you be pointing down a little bit more. Right? Yeah. Damn. It's not a good sign when you're entering like a trying to rotate an object exercise and the first drawing is really tricky for you. Let's try this one again, just to try and get a slightly better grasp of it before we start rotating it all over the place. Because I think what I really missed when I started it was just how much of an upshot this is. Of course you can't see what I'm talking about, but I swear it is. That looks a lot better already. A lot less flat. Yeah, you'll have to excuse morning voice. That's just how it goes with these early streams. Like groggy voice syndrome, vocal fry syndrome. Oh look, the hand is kind of pringled. Seeing like the bottom plane here and maybe a little bit of like the front plane here, and then this is all back plane. yeah. Like it's pringled like that. This is the back of the hand, this is the front of the hand, and we're actually seeing a little bit of both from this angle. Because the hand curves. And then it curves even more when you're doing something like this, where you're like bringing the thumb forward to grab something. Right? Obviously, there's always a bit of a curve to the hand, but then when you bring the thumb forward like that, you really accentuate it. Cool. This one goes off to the side. This one will disappear behind this one because we're looking up into this hand. And then draw it like somebody with subtler tastes instead of somebody like me. That's one of the tricky bits. Is part of my taste is like crazy shapes for the sake of crazy shapes, or for the sake of exaggerating the shapes of the human body. And well, the more you do that, the further you get away from practicing your fundamentals per se, because it becomes more and more shape based and less form based. But I do firmly believe that the skill you need the most to be able to do this sort of crazy shapes, abstracting based on the form, is you need to have a super solid form understanding. So you really know what you're abstracting from, right? Stylizing based off of. It's this double-edged sword where I want to practice the crazy shapes, but I also really want to practice the form because it allows me to do better crazy shapes. Okay, so that's way better. It's clearly way better than the first one we did. This one I buy that we're looking up. Looking up at it. First one I don't. You can go over here in a little corner of shame. Number 41, shame corner. Okay. I'm gonna be honest and say I probably can't rotate this one very well from imagination, but I think the amount of hurt it can do is pretty limited. And the amount of learning we have to gain could be big, so. Okay. Feels okay, but again, I need to be looking up more. Of course, I'm trying to draw through here. It would have been a better reference if the orb they were holding was if it were see-through. That's actually a good idea. Get a bunch of like see-through plastic primitives. They won't be good for like rendering practice, but they'll be good for drawing practice specifically. Because you'd be able to have the say if you're practicing your cubes. You wouldn't just have this. You'd also get to draw through from your reference. I like having a lot of like art objects. That I can draw from. It's a little silly because, you know, in the digital age you can just find them online. There's no need to own them. But there's something about like the barrier to entry from like doing nothing to sitting there and doing a drawing when you have a physical thing that you want to draw is lower than when you gotta find it online first. Oh, and then you can start the drawing process. So I would expect the orb to, at this point, be covering the top of that finger. We're still pringling a little bit. We're still seeing both a little bit of the back of the hand, but now a lot of the front of the hand. Hi, hello. New blood. How you doing? Quag. Quag. That must be the pronunciation. One, two, three. Yep. And then I don't buy this finger. Probably just like it needs a little bit less of a bend. It's a more appealing taper. Okay, let's see how we fared. Poorly. I see that. There's this back bend in the original pose. So I'm trying to rotate hands. And what I decided to do is just grab this one and then only look at that one and try to rotate it myself. And now I'm looking at the next one and I'm seeing that I fucked up. While the hand that I drew is like, okay, I rotated it too much, and two, fully got rid of this back bend here that you can see in both the references here. So let me try and fix my mistakes and be aware of why what I did wrong. Yeah, so the new hand, the right one, we're talking about B, A, B, we're talking about B. And this was like my B. 1. Numbers, letters. Anyway, big takeaway is this one is more Pringle than what I did. Like, look how much of the back of the hand we're still seeing here. It's kind of even more than that. It's really like curved around itself. While what I drew, and this is an artifact of me not including the back bend as well. But this one over here has like this sort of a Pringle to it. Seeing way less of the back of the hand. Probably could, like, either way. Even without the back bend, probably could improve it by just bringing the pinky forward a little bit. And saying, hey, this hand is actually, it's more curved. than that. Anyway. So it's more curved, it's more prinkled. We're seeing more of both sides of the hand. Still. Also, man, I'm just seeing this now. Is that a clone of me on the left? That's also a good idea for the lore. It's supposed to be like a little stream avatar. Just a little guy that I did. I'm actually doing a draw this in your style with him right now. So if you want to participate, if you want to do a little drawing of him, you can win a commission done live on stream. He's like a bit of an aspirational character, I think, because he breakdances. So he's like cooler. Maybe I should get that out of the lore. I also like better the idea that like he isn't me, he's just like he is just the character mascot, and then there's like some parallels, obviously. Okay. I think we can still, once again, we can emphasize how much we're looking up at this hand, and we can emphasize that how it's bending backwards. Looking better. The bottom of the finger here. Cool. There we go. It's funny, the artist's urge to own a lot of like primitives in different sizes, balls, cylinders, and boxes in different sizes, so you can take reference of like your hands interacting with them or them interacting with each other in scenes. That's a strong urge. The artist urge to own plaster casts and see-through plastic versions of all the primitive shapes in an assortment of sizes. I don't like that. That's a little inelegant. but fine. Okay, so that's closer. Big things are just remember and be aware of just how much we're looking up at this hand. And remember how it's like bending back. Cool. You can go up in the shame corner as number 42. Shame corner. And then we try again. We try again. This means that we should really be looking up at this hand, because now the lean back is starting to be like a lean back in space, not just a lean to the side. Thumb keeps rotating more and more to being parallel with the view plane. Little finger, I guess, could start coming towards us a little bit. Your hand is not able to grab a ball like that right now? Why? Did you injure yourself? Do you have small hands? It's like, it is like a bigger sized ball for the hand that the reference is grabbing. It's pretty close to something like this. Yeah. That's a pretty cool thing when people are like able to like just like grab a basketball in one hand. I always think of Kuroko no Basket, which is like this basketball anime, right? And there's a guy who can like his special ability, what makes him really good at basketball, is he dribbles so hard. He dribbles so hard that it like shocks the court. And everybody's like thrown a little bit off. by the sound and the impact of how hard he dribbles. And then he can dribble where he smashes the ball into the ground and then almost catches it a little bit. This is okay. This is close. I think a little bit more bend in this finger. And in this one, just yeah. Just subtle, because this one, the middle finger, we're almost looking directly up at it, I think. Probably rotated a little bit too much for this one. But I think just by virtue of us really having like the hand bending back, I think we're closer than with the last one. Okay, that's tricky. Hands bending back, so we have this dish shape, this sort of curve to the hand overall, which would pull these fingers down like this, but of course, this finger is the longest finger. How do we handle those two facts? Well, one is just, it's probably just like softening the curve so it doesn't protrude that much, but it's like, yeah, like that. All right, let's see. Put in the ball. Looks something like that. And then how am I wrong? Okay. It's not that far this time around. This volume is just bigger than I expected. Like the volume of the back of the hand here. So there's a little bump here that I don't understand too much. And then I over rotated the little finger a little bit and the thumb. Yeah, I think I just spun the hand a little bit more than the reference does. And then bringing the pinky forward like this, that's another thing. That actually results in a lot more bunching under the knuckle of the little finger than I drew. Which that makes sense. We're contracting some muscles in here so they get bigger. Skin and what have you bunches. As a result. Other than that, that one wasn't too bad. This finger could curve more. Fine. It's a little rough, but it's there. And then can try spinning the original hand the other way. See how that goes. All right. I like that overlap, but I think I made the hand too wide. My art is just crazy. Thanks. Wow, thanks. What are you referring to specifically? Just out of curiosity. Any favorites? My art is just crazy, you said. what in particular? What pieces in particular do you like? Or is crazy a bad? Is it crazy like a bad term? I'm not assuming so. Something like that, probably. Oh, the thumb. Probably still see the thumb in the silhouette. Oh, you checked out the links. You checked out the about section. Damn. It's working. Is that any close? No. Okay. So we actually don't see the thumb in the silhouette yet. My bad. And the hand, though backbending, yes, is not that flat to the camera. There we go. It's a lot closer. Cool. And also, little finger is not that foreshortened yet. You bend forward more. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. And then there's two more. I don't want to just draw one of them and then try to see if I can't draw the in-between. almost fully foreshortened on the little finger here. Okay, wait. This is a good opportunity to try and do some nice, appealing whole finger tapering shapes. Balls like there. Hands everywhere. Indeed. Hands everywhere. Okay, give me a second. So the idea was I wanted to just be a little bit more intentional in my shapes here. That looks about good to me. Except, I mean... Give me a second. Need to answer a Discord ping. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. All right. Discord ping sent. Also, I need to take a quick bathroom break. And then we're coming up on the end of the stream here in 20 minutes. But I expect that I'll be back for a couple hands in a little bit. No. I definitely will. So see you in 5 minutes for the last 15 minutes of the stream. We're back. We're back. Why did I mute the music? I didn't have to mute the music. Anyway. Couple more hands. Couple more hands. Then we can wrap after a productive stream. Right now I'm just trying to in between these two hands. It's gonna look something like that. Gonna look very close to that, but just with some like slightly more polished shapes. There we go. Let's go tangent. Maybe not. Maybe we can just contain the little finger within the shape of the ball. Whoa. The follow with the like cool emote flourish. Thanks for following. Glad that you're enjoying the stream. I deserve it. I deserve it. Oh, kind. Cool. Numbers. That's 42. And this is not the order they were drawn in, but that's fine. That can be 43. That could be 44. 45. 46. Didn't draw as many hands today, but if I dare say so, I think they were more intentionally drawn. And so that's a good thing. We can squeeze in one more. No, maybe two. We'll see. We'll see. Start on a new rotation down here. Didn't do any new artist studies today, but we were very intentional about applying the lessons from yesterday. I think that's good too. That finger's a bit big, huh? Scale it right down. I also think I accidentally drew that one instead of this one, which is supposed to be more head-on. Okay, okay. Pretty banterless stream. I feel like my banter game's been low these last couple days. Just been drawing. Yesterday I was real tired as well, so I guess that does something to the banter game, which is fine, which is fair. I don't like that finger. Yeah, I don't know, whatever. Oh no, the bot. Don't click on the link. I think you know. I think you know. But I'm not gonna let it disturb my flow state. I'm gonna keep drawing for these 3 final minutes of the stream. Too bad, already did. No! Now you got 10 million views. That's so sick though. Maybe I should click that link actually. I'll do that when stream ends. And then you start to turn around this orb. I just realized that scam link is obviously intended towards me, not you guys. It's like, here's a streamer with no viewers. let's entice him with the idea that he can buy followers through this scam link. You saw a lot of good streamers with no views. Truly one of the tragedies of our time. Kidding, kidding. Yeah, well, there's There's just so much entertainment, man. Just so much entertainment out there. All of it can't be successful. Not only does it have to be good, it has to outcompete other good stuff. We'll see if I can do that. I hope so. At some point. Anyway. Oh, you hella changed the angle of the... hand to the wrist between those two poses. Last one was a fumble. Those drawings might come in handy later. Damn. On a first time chat too. Pun game better than what I've been doing this stream. Okay. That's hand number 49 and 50. Hackvag, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but you're late. You're late. This is the end of the stream. 10 a.m. GMT plus 2. This is where we wrap. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. Anybody who did. Hope to catch you in the next one. That would be this evening at 8 p.m. GMT plus 2. So in 10 hours. Apart from that, yeah, thanks for joining.